Good morning, children. All these days we have learned about the birds and the body parts, how they use their wings and how they use their legs for different activities. Now, this is one thing everybody needs. All the animals, they need their homes. All the animals have their own kind of making houses, homes. We too need house. Why do we need house? It protects us from bad weathers and from the enemies. Like that only these animals they make. And the birds are also called the flying animals. They make their homes in different places. How do they make? It's an art. Yes, how the humans are having the art of building the buildings. Like that only these animals, these birds also, they are having the art of building their nests in the different places. Today we will learn about the homes of animals. Homes of animals that comes under the birds. Homes of birds. I should write here. Birds. Here we can write birds. Animals. Birds. This is especially the birds which wave, which join the leaves together. Some animals, some birds, they collect the pebbles, the stones, pebbles and stones they collect it. Some animals they peck, sorry, not animals, birds. Birds are also called the flying animals. So they peck into a tree trunk. How nicely they use their beak to wave their homes, to make their homes in that. Why do they need? Because the home, it protects from the bad weather and the enemies. These birds are also having enemies. Why? Snakes and all. Sometimes when they lay eggs and go out, slowly the snakes will come and they swallow the birds' eggs. So that's why to protect their eggs, they build their nest. The home is called a nest, bird's nest. Now you can see the birds, how the small birds are there in the nest, isn't it? And the grains, the mother bird has gone out to bring the grains for them, and they are opening their beaks and waiting for the grains to have in their beaks. So safe from bad weather and the enemies, they build their nest. When they have to lay eggs, they build their nest. Now we can see the tailor bird. Tailor bird, it uses, what are the materials they collect? They collect the materials of thread and wool. They stitch. You can see the tailor bird's beak is very sharp. They collect the material, thread and wool. Sometimes the hair also you can see. Hair and the cotton fibers also you can see that. So with that they will stitch this and join together two leaves together and they make the nest in the leaves. The weaver bird, the tailor birds. This is the nest of a tailor bird. It's very good. It's an art to them. Then the weaver birds. You can see the weaver bird weaves. What are the materials they collect? They collect leaves, grass and twigs. Together they weave and make their nest. So weaver birds, the nest of this entrance. Now how do they enter? Upside down. They keep one hole to enter into this inside the nest. From the downward only they will enter into this. Now how beautifully they have made their home to to lay their eggs safely inside this nest. Then coming to this woodpecker. woodpecker's beak, we have studied how sharp, long and sharp. They peck into the tree trunk. They make a hole and lay eggs into that. You can see the tree trunk is there. The woodpecker is holding with the leg the tree trunk and pecking and keeping it safe. Its baby bird. Penguins, they live in cold countries. How do they make their nest over there? They collect the stones and pebbles. They collect the stones and pebbles there and they lay their eggs there. In the details, I will send a video to you. At the last, you can see that video. How the birds, they weave their nest very tightly and holding with the beak only. We have two hands, but the birds are having beaks. So with the help of beak only, they weave their nest. So this is all about the. Now you can open your textbook and see it is there in your textbook also. The page number, lesson number 4, page number 214, homes of birds. Homes of birds. Like you, birds too need a home. They build nests on trees, they lay eggs in them. The eggs hatch and the chicks stay there till they are old enough to fly. The nest keeps birds safe from bad weather and enemies. Have you seen a bird's nest? See, pigeons also make their nest. Where do they make their nest? On the broken walls, on the ventilators. There you will find it. You might have seen. But one thing, you should not touch those eggs. Mind it. Suppose if you touch their nest or the eggs also, then they will not touch or they will not hatch. The eggs will not hatch. It's very delicate. So you should, if you happens to see anywhere, so you must see the nest and the eggs from the distance only. You don't disturb the nest and the eggs. Got it? So we'll read this lesson, this paragraph. You can find one on a tree, on the terrace, or the ventilators of a house, or even on a ceiling fan. Let us now have a look at the nest of some birds. Now in your textbook you can see this is the tailor bird uses its beak to sieve leaves together with the thread and wool to make its nest. You can see this nest also. Some chicks are there. Small birds. How they are. And here the art of a tailor bird also you can see. It's sieving. How they are sieving. Now weaver birds. The weaver bird uses its beaks to weave leaves, grass and twigs together to make a beautiful nest. The bird enters its home through a hole in the nest. You can see this is the tailor weaver bird. Weaver bird, upside down, the hole is there. Through this hole the bird enters into its nest. Now you can see this woodpecker, the tree trunk, it makes hole. The woodpecker uses its beak to peck into a tree trunk and make hole in it. The hole is its home. The hole is its home. Then penguins live in very cold places. They collect some stones and pebbles. and make their nest. Can you see this penguin? The backside also you can see the blue color, which is a form of snow. So they are the cold country birds. A nest is a bird's home, so you should never spoil one, nor you should disturb the bird or its chicks living in a nest. So this is all about the birds, how do they make their nests and all. We read this paragraph, children. You have to see and read this paragraph again and again. With this, we have completed all about the birds. Read this lesson, observe and think it over it. In the next video, we'll write the new words. Thank you.